Okay, so now we're going to run this CMT. It's a small multiform bit, mini multiform, and the number is 856.801.11. Now, this particular bit, I've got a couple other ones. I've got one by Eagle America, but this cuts 9/16, and the other one's only cut a 1/2 inch. 16th doesn't matter. Well, for me, I just like to look at the 9/16 molding. We're kind of splitting hairs, a 1/16 of an inch, but this is the only bit that'll cut that 9/16 cut in between here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the easiest way. First time, I always keep a piece of molding and I'll stick it in my bit case or drill a hole in it or set it over here somewhere on my router table, especially the moldings that I use a lot. If it's the first time I'm setting it up, you know, I'll make some stuff so that I can do it. So this board, you want this to be 9/16. You can make it a 1/2 inch, you can make it whatever, but in my case, it's 9/16. Okay, so first thing you want to do to set this bit up for the first time is take a steel ruler and set it in the groove down here until you're hitting it, all right? And then just bring your fence up to it just like that, okay? Let me hold this up a little bit. Okay, then what you want to do is back it off a little bit so you're hitting that groove, okay? And then you want to come forward just a little bit, because when you run this bit, if you try to run let me get in the what. If you try to run this full bead, it can joiner effect on you. So when you get back to this part right here, it takes a big gouge out of it. Now, that's not the end of the world. You can just chop it off. Like, again, say, leave your moldings long. But that can happen. All right, so the next thing I do is I come up here and I want this little bead right here down at the bottom. So I'm going to push it up there until it's just hitting. So I'm a little bit high. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And then I'm going to run a test here and see if I'm good or not. All right, so let's run the test. Turn on the vac. Another thing, you want to keep this clean. Alright, that's exactly what I want. Hold on, let me turn that off. So I got that the first time, and you witnessed that, okay? So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and run this thing, and then I'll show you. And if you look, let me see if I can get it. There's a little flat spot right there, just a little bit, okay? And you want that flat spot because when you sand your molding, it'll sand right out, okay? You can go ahead and do it, but what's going to happen, and maybe I'll back my fence off a little bit and show you what'll happen if you don't. But I'm probably not, so I'm just going to roll it. Let's run it. Okay, now a tip on this, if I was running a figured wood, okay, I would run this thing and then I would go over to my table saw and cut like a 32nd or a 1/16 of an inch off and run it again, because my likelihood of chip out is going to be high, okay? So I'll take that second pass so that I don't have any problems with chip out. Okay, now what we're going to do now for this piece of molding here is we're going to cut it so that we have an 1/8 of an inch bead, okay, like right here, about an 1/8 of an inch, okay, 1/18, 1/16, whatever you like, okay. I wouldn't go more than an 1/8. That's probably getting a little big. All right, let's do that. And again, when I'm doing this, I've done it enough to where I'll just eyeball it. So I look like I'm pretty close, and I'll come in here and make a cut, and then you might see me adjust the finish, but that's what I'm doing, is just getting it where I want it. So you saw me, I cut it a little short, but that's why I take that little first cut. Now I could have gone on and done a whole bunch of measuring and stuff, but that's why I leave my moldings long, and I just eyeball it. So I'm 1/8 of an inch, and then what you're going to do is the final piece for this, and I'm not going to show this on video because anybody can run a router down forward. There's nothing tricky about this. So I'll take my Roman Ogee bit, okay, and I just line it up and I run it, and I'm leaving about 1/8 to 1/16 right here on this top side. I just adjust my router down, and I just run it flat. You can run it in your router table. I just happen to, I've got 2 routers in my router table, so I usually set 2 of those up, and then I just put this one in a handheld and run it. Okay, now how does this thing go together? I'm gonna show you. Okay, so the top piece with your bevel is going to come in here, and we're going to leave about 1/16 of an inch here, and you would glue that down just like that. Okay, now you want to go real light on the glue because you don't want a bunch of squeeze out coming out. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pin nail it in a couple places, and then I'll just, if it's going dark, if it's natural, I'll probably pin nail it on either end, and those ends will get chopped off when it gets mitered. Alright, so you want to glue that on, and then you also want to take this bead. Now this bead, it actually sets, oh sorry, let me get this right. The bead part sets proud a little bit, if you can see there, okay? And then you glue this on the bottom of this, just like this. Same thing applies. You want to go easy on the glue. All right. Let me go over here and get the piece and show you what it looks like on the final. Okay. So this is the final look right here. This is how it looks. Okay. So we've got our bottom glued on to the flat spot down here, and then here, and then when you turn it up, you've got this look. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's how you make that molding. If you have any questions, hit me up. Now, I am not going to be doing a video on the chest probably for another 2 weeks, because I've got a bunch of stuff I got to get out. I got a stack of wood that's almost 6 feet tall that I got to go through in the next 2 weeks. So what I may do is just do a no comment on some of the stuff I'm building, and if you're interested in that, let me know. If not, I will not spare you the details, and I'll see you in a couple weeks when we get back to the chest. All right. Okay, I do want to take a second and talk just a little bit about the bits, and where you can get them. And like I said, there's a link below with all this information. But I want to talk a little bit about these horizontal crown bits. So these come from a company called Eagle America. It's www.eagleamerica.com. Okay, I don't know who else makes these, but Eagle America is pretty good. They've got some good carbide in them. If you want a bigger one to make, like for instance, if you're not going to stack your molding and you're going to just do a cove by itself, this bit is probably not going to be big enough. They have one size bigger than this, but what I would recommend doing is going to cn-woodworking.com, and a friend of mine, Charles Neal, he had Whiteside make these, and this is a custom bit that he made, and this is like the widest one, so it will make this big. You can do moldings up to 3.5 inches with a cove in it with this bad boy. Okay. I don't know if he has any in stock or not, but I'll leave a link to his web address in there. And I talked earlier, I've got the other one still on the router table, but Eagle America's got this one, and I like Whiteside too. I haven't dealt with Eagle America in a long time. I've been buying. I like Whiteside, CMT, and Freud bits. Those are my favorites. And how do I choose which one? I just whatever's convenient. You know, if I'm at Woodcraft, I usually get a Freud bit. If I'm here at the shop, I just get on Amazon and I get a Whiteside bit. Not buying those. If you're a home guy, you might find another alternative that's cheaper. I totally get that. If it was a hobby for me, I probably wouldn't be buying these high dollar bits because they're not cheap. All right, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a couple weeks unless you want to see some of the other stuff I'm doing. All right, thanks.